That would be, I think that's the other part, that I think he struggles with in general, outside, not in the apartment, with like the implied stay that it comes with, like being by your side until you, or like.
Oh, for the recall.
Sure.
So what happens when you call him?
He'll come, he'll sit, but then he'll see something distracting and like try and run away. I'll call him back and like make him come back, but that implied stay of like you don't move until I release you, once I've called you, is tough. I mean, I've had to say stay, and if I say it, he's more prone to like sticking around, like staying there for a little longer. But.
So the implied stay, so what we would do here is he's on a long leash, correct? You call him with the distractions. He comes to you. And this is where shortening the leash is important, right? So you would shorten the leash, not all the way, right? Maybe like 20 feet. He's got 10 feet left or whatever. And you don't say anything. He starts to go. Don't say anything. Start tapping.
Until
he comes back. Okay, and then you might have to play with the number, and he might try to move away, and then eventually he's gonna come back to you. Because if you say, come again, you're resetting. Okay, so come means come to me and stay with me, right? But if he comes to you and then leaves,
he's broken,
he's broken it, right? And you say come again, he's coming back to you, but you didn't say don't leave me. Okay, so when he leaves you and you're tapping, you're saying don't leave me. So he thinks when you call me, if I leave without permission, this is going to happen. So I'm going to come to you and not leave. Okay. We don't say stay because technically stay is stay, don't move. So then if you move, Rolo's not supposed to move.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So you're thinking stay with me, right? But stay.
Really? No, it makes sense.
It means don't move. So then if you walk away, Rolo should stay put, technically. So what I would do is when you go to your recalls, either make sure you shorten the leash or step on the leash to limit him, but still give him like, because he has to try it.
Right, in order for me to be able to teach him like no.
Right, so then I step on it, he tries to walk away, I start tapping him, he comes back to my side, and then I wait a little bit, roll a break, and then he can go. Okay? Other questions?
No, I think I'm good so far.
Okay, excellent. So what we're going to do here is we're going to teach the place command, which I think you said he knows, or you do use, right?
I use it within the crate though, so the crate's not around. There's like no kind of point of reference.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like stay.
Sure. Okay.
Because if I tell him to get into the crate, he goes in there and he won't move until I say he can leave. So he will stay there, but it's just in the crate. He won't do that elsewhere.
Gotcha.
So this would be nice.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to teach Rolo how to go to place. What's your number currently at?
10.
10? That's fine. So let's go ahead and we're going to get up with Rolo here. And I'm going to coach you through it. We're going to start about a foot away or 1 square away for reference.
Okay.
And what we're going to do here is you're going to start really close. Like let's say I'm here, right? And don't worry about heel. So you have Rolo going to shorten your leash. I usually step on the leash in the beginning. I'm not the leash on the bed because
for him to see like. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
It's because sometimes the dogs will push the bed away.
Oh, that's
because they're unfamiliar with it, so you're bracing it. Okay. So you're going to start tapping first on 2 to 3 taps. Okay. You had a lot of coffee this morning, huh?
I haven't that many actually.
Oh, maybe that's why you're getting delirious. Okay, you're going to shorten the leash. You're going to start tapping first, 2 to 3 taps. If Rolo doesn't respond, you're going to keep tapping and lightly pull forward until he goes on. Okay, now we're not going to say anything right now. We're just teaching Rolo, when you feel this, go here. Because if you said place, for example, and he went there, great, but then how do we teach him to follow? Right, so we always do everything with no words, no frame of reference. I'm going to start tapping first, 2 to 3 times, no response, keep tapping, and then lightly pull him. Once all 4 paws are on the bed, you can stop tapping. Okay, so we lay off the pressure, wait a second, break, and we'll repeat. If he tries to get off,
you tap.
Start tapping, and then counter him with leash pressure to guide him back on. He gets on, good boy, wait a moment. He tries to get off again, pressure, tapping. He gets back on, wait a moment. Break, and then, but when you say break, you're gonna move backwards here.
So that he knows,
Yeah, to come off, okay? So go ahead and get in position. And then go ahead and shorten your leash a little bit more. Yeah, about there. And tap, tap, tap. Now pull, tap, 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 tap.
Yep,
Tap. It's okay, tap right there. Go forward, wait a
Good,
second.
buddy.
Then break,
Go.
and then backwards. There you go. We'll repeat that 4 more times. Tap, 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 pull. Yep, good. Good, and boy. Let's try going 12. And break.
Go up.
Okay, 3 more. Then tap, pull. There you go. Yeah, boy.
Cool boy.
Good. Break.
Go.
Good, 2 more.
Go, buddy.
Good.
Go.
Good.
Good, buddy.
And praise. And your collar's on, right? Hit the vibrate function.
Yeah, he does, he hates
Right.
that.
Okay. I'll just double check it.
It's okay.
So, what we're gonna do
It's
now.
funny, I think he hates that one more than the actual.
Yeah, because the vibrate is a flat, like, sensation. You can't adjust it.
Oh, so
The
it's
stem you
higher
can
probably,
adjust, yeah.
that makes sense.
So here you're gonna do the same process,
Uh-huh,
but you're gonna go and you're gonna set from a foot away, but from different
for different sides.
sides of the dog bed.
Okay.
Okay? Good. Good. Oh, tap. There you go. There you go. Wait a second. Now praise.
Good job.
Tap. 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 Good. Wait a moment. Tap. 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 Good. Tap. Good. Wait a moment. Good. A little bit of praise. Good.
Again, go.
Great. Good. 4 more.
From different sides, right?
Correct. Then pull, tip. Good, wait a moment, relax.
Go.
Good.
She's like, I'm going all the way out. Buddy, you're fine. It's okay. You're good.
More of a pull, tip.
Got it.
Yeah, it's okay, tip. You got it, tip, pull, tip. Tip, brace with your foot. Yeah, there you go. Wait a moment. Good, relax. Tip, 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 pull. Good, tip, good, wait. Good. Now bump it. 14. Great.
Go.
Good, 2 more.
I think yesterday freaked him out a little.
It's okay. Yep. Good, wait a moment. Good. Yep. 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 Good, wait a moment. Good.
It's go.
Good, 1 more. Good, tap. Good, wait a moment, tap. Tap. Good. Tap. 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 Good, tap. It's okay, tap. Good, wait a moment. Good. Let's go to 16. What's the highest you went yesterday?
Like 24.
You trying to kill him?
This is coming from a person who told me one of these days I'm I'm gonna have to jack it up to 127. Go.
Great, good. So what we're gonna do here is,
No.
now here, when he does this, right?
He's like in flight mode.
Yep, so what's gonna happen is the next time he does it, is you're just gonna hold still, okay? So you're gonna tell Rolo break. He's gonna get off, he's gonna go.
Uh-huh.
So you're gonna stand still, okay? And what you're gonna do, you're gonna just hold and you're gonna tap until Rolo comes in.
back.
Not here, right, tap, like that, and then wait. Okay, so what's happening is, because that can say do this, and it can say don't do that, okay?
Okay.
So, because either what happened, Tim, right? Potentially because of the other day when you went to 24. So that's why when with the leash, since you didn't work him through it,
Yeah.
you laid off the pressure.
Yeah.
He learned, if I'm like this,
Yeah.
pressure will disappear, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I go, the only way that pressure disappears is if
Is
you
if you
fulfill.
actually do what I.
Right. So now he's kind of stuck. It's okay. It can be fixed.
Okay.
Yeah, you didn't screw your dog up, you're fine. So here, because he's going under stress, he's becoming more flighty, is you just hold and you're correcting and you're saying, that's not an option, okay? So every time he does that, you're just gonna anchor, tap, he comes in, let him settle, and then continue,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
Because if you try to do all these things at once, he's not gonna associate.
Know what I'm tapping.
So yeah, so I don't worry about this, I worry about this, tap, he comes in, he relaxes, then I go tap, pull over here, okay? So he understands I'm saying, hey, running away is not an option right now. And eventually he'll stop doing that, okay? So he technically has to try it, be corrected to associate that he's not supposed to do certain things, okay? So he's not doing anything bad, but you're still able to remove that as an option, okay? So, so we did 5 of walking around. So what we're doing for Rolo is so if you always practice from one direction, dogs are very much creatures of habit. So then one day you send them from like over here, you're gonna see Rolo walk around and then him like this, okay? So we like to send it from different areas so that he understands it's not about a specific way of going there, it's simply about going to the object, okay? So now we're gonna make this a little bit more difficult, is we're gonna start sending Rolo from approximately 2 feet away, okay? So about here. Same concept is you're gonna start tapping, pull if needed, and you're gonna try to refrain from stepping forward. Okay. Now, if he's not getting it and you need to take a little step forward, that's fine. But try not to keep moving forward.
That's
okay.
right.
Go ahead.
Am I good to start or should I
Yeah,
try?
go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's not being flighty right now.
That's fair.
Tap and pull. Tap. 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 There we go. Tap. Good. Wait a moment. Tap. 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 There you go. Wait a moment. Tap. Tap. Good. Wait a moment. Right there. So now it looks like you have good contact. Before you were, I think he was responding to the clicks, but he wasn't really feeling anything.
Oh.
Okay. Release. Break.
The chair's gonna save you?
Good. Good. 3 more.
Like, are we giving up? Should I tap
Keep
him?
tapping. Tap. 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 A little bit of pull. Tap. More pull. Tap. Tap. Okay, you want to keep your pull consistent. Tap. Tap. Pull. Tap.
Oh.
Tap. 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 I'm gonna chuckle higher. Tap. 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 There you go. Good. So the closer you are here,
Oh, the easier it'll be for me.
easier. I want to go to you're at 16.
Yeah.
Let's go to 20.
Oh, I like that.
Break.
Let's go.
Good. 3 more. There you go. Yep. 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 Okay, wait. Yeah.
Cool puppies. Go.
Right, and then start to choke up. There you go. Yep. There you go. Good. Better. Good.
Go.
One more. Yep. Yep. Good job. And then relax. Good. Careful. So relax, not trip. Wait a moment. Good. Good. Yep. Now pull. Yep. Right there. Wait a moment. Yep. Right there. Okay, now relax. And hold right there. Okay. What's your number currently? 20, right?
Yeah.
In training, what's the highest we've gone here? Do you know?
Not 20, like maybe 21.
Okay. Let's go 24. So here, it's counterintuitive for people that when they go higher and they see the dog get a little bit more panicky, we're thinking, oh, I gotta dial it down. But it's because it's becoming concerning for him, but it's not enough for him to really think, what do I need to do?
Got it. Okay.
So we're trying to get him to that point. So on the fourth one, it was actually pretty straightforward. The last one was a little bit more resistant, but he was still much easier than before. But when it's lower, like he knows what you're wanting, but he's like, I don't want to do it.
So he's fighting it.
So he's going against it. So then we just go up incrementally until actually he's like, okay, well, me not wanting to do it isn't helping the situation.
Right.
Me running away is not helping the situation. But if I follow this, everything goes away and it goes away quickly. So we're trying to teach him like, hey buddy, the faster you do this, the faster all this goes away. So the reason why we're doing the tapping first is I'm trying to incentivize him to figure it out on his own. Okay, so humans typically learn things better by doing it themselves. Same thing for dogs. Okay, so here, like when we did the heel, even though you're doing things to teach him, he still had to figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, mom's going that way, and every time I'm walking right here next to mom, it goes away, and all that stuff, right? So it's the same concept, but we're just doing it for each command. So here, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna incrementally keep going up until we find a number that it's gonna motivate him, but not keep him panicky, okay? So we're gonna do the same process, except now you're going to go another foot back.
Okay.
About here, okay? So it's gonna be awkward, so you might have to go like this, and then if needed one step's fine, trying to refrain from doing too many.
Okay.
Okay? Break.
Go. Is that yours alive or did you pee?
They might be just drill from the pen thing. Yeah, wait a moment. Yeah, tap, right, wait, the hole right there. Let them settle first. So you see how quick that was?
Yeah.
Where you felt, he was like, oh, okay, sure. And he just comes back. Good. Now you would move into the center of the place. Tap. Yep, and pull. There you go. Wait a second.
Whoa.
Good. See how much more different that was?
Yeah.
He actually started on his own a little bit, and you had to finish it off. Good, break.
Go.
Good, one more. Right there.
Good job, buddy.
Good.
Go.
3 more. Good.
Good job. Go.
2 more. Yep. Almost. Yep. There you go. Good.
Go.
1 more.
Nope, I don't know if it's gonna go all the way up.
There. Yeah. It's okay. Working through it. Yeah. Almost. Pull, pull. Now dip it down. You're at 24. Go down to 12. And relax. Okay? Chill. Okay. Alright. there, if we got good contact, because the collar shifted, instinct is stop, okay? But for him, if you stop, you're teaching him,
Every
if you
time.
freak out,
I'll stop.
this will stop, right? And we're not trying to be mean here. Because like you mentioned earlier, someone very wise said, at some point, I hope this doesn't happen, but he's gonna flip out, he's scared, he's gonna run off, you're gonna be up there. And you're gonna see that very exact response. And if you've not worked them through it before, we're not gonna most likely work through it there, right? So here we have controlled contact.
Yeah.
It was too much pressure at some point, it just kicked in.
Yeah.
He freaks out, we freak out, we get stressed, he gets stressed, right? So everybody's freaking out, but you have to be the one that's calm and collected.
I didn't know, like, I was like, this was good though, because now I know kind of just keep working through it, like don't.
As long as it's clear, okay, so this is where, with no leash, right?
Right, that would have been different.
It would have been different now technically, because you're not the first person who's done that, okay? I've had people, they're like, Jesse, I had my dog in the yard, I tried to practice recall, they saw what you essentially saw, freaking out, and they keep going up, right? And they might be at 127 and finally the dog comes to them. And they'll go, I felt really bad. And I go, yes. I was like, but technically that was correct, because you have to force the return. But this is the reason for the leash, because I'm expecting that's going to happen. So if I had the leash like this, you would have been able to just walk them through the 24 instead of having to go to 127.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the pro of it is they've already worked the dog through it. The recall is typically really, really good, but it sucks. It sucks for the human and it sucks for the dog. So that's why I always tell people, long leash always, because those things happen. And people ask me, like, what if I practice in the yard? I always tell them, this might happen. Because they're thinking, oh, it's enclosed, it's not going to run away. But he knows there's nothing to make him return to you. So they're going to push for more, okay? So we want to work through it like we did here. As soon as we work through it, we go down, okay? Now, that's going to be, oh my God, are you okay? I don't. Because then you're teaching them to freak out in those kinds of moments. So like if I accidentally blast one of my dogs, like my Chihuahua, I did this so much by accident. I accidentally tapped my Chihuahua on 100. And he went, right? And he jumped and he, boom, ran straight to me. So he didn't sit there going, bark, 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 bark. He took it and said, we're going to go back to that.
He means business.
Right, so that's the whole point of working them through it, is that if he can absolutely yip and bark, absolutely, but get over here. Does that make sense? Because, I mean, just like with us, if something hurts you too much, you're gonna go, oh my God, that hurt, or out, whatever. I swear, same thing for this guy, he's gotta let it out. So now the next time, I bet you if you accidentally overhit him, he's probably gonna run there. If there's something to him, because he's thinking, last time I had to do this, that's what I had to do. So in the case of the recall, he's thinking, oh crap, the last time I was freaking out, I had to do.
That's fair.
So we're at 12 now, we're gonna go ahead and release him, and we're gonna continue, okay? 3 more. Okay, right there. Wait a second, and then go down to 10.
Go.
Yeah, 2 more. Now pull. There you go. Now wait a moment. Good.
Go.
Get it, 1 more. Yep. There you go. Yeah, further. Now go down to 8. Now pull. There you go. Good. So now we're gonna do that same process, but we're gonna start saying the word place. Okay, so ideally we want this to be more smoother. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you the step. It's okay. You can either get it to repetition. You can also add in food here. So if you're gonna use high value, I use again high value food, cheese, turkey, salami, whatever. Every time he goes there, and once he's completed it, and he's not trying to run off, then you feed, then break, and then place, tap, tap, tap. He goes there. Wait a moment. Good boy. Feed, and then break. Okay. So you're gonna say place. Then start tapping, and then pull the leash if needed. Okay, go ahead.
Place.
Right, center, wait a moment.
I didn't have to pull that much.
No, he's good. No. Let him settle, that's fine. Good.
Oh,
It's okay?
Go.
Okay.
go, buddy. Come on.
Now backwards.
Come on.
Pull. There you go. Good, one more. So yeah, now you're gonna prevent him, that's fine, wait a moment. But this was what I was saying earlier, is that he's gonna start assuming
That's.
to run there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Okay. Place.
There you go, good.
Go. Come on.
Back, pull.
Oh my god, I was like, oh, I might get off of that.
Pull. There we go. 3 more.
Place.
There you go. Yep. Good. Break.
Go.
Good, 2 more.
Place.
Right. Good.
Wow.
1 more. Break.
Go.
Good. Wait a moment. Yep. Wait a moment. No.
Rolo. Come on. Place.
There. Now here, go ahead and you can bring that chair a little forward and then have a seat. All right. So here, if he tries to go
Yeah.
towards you, you'll tap on me correctly,
Uh-huh.
okay? And you won't say anything. So here, he went from like taking a lot to do it to like just going there.
Yeah.
All of this is because of what happened at 24.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so he panicked, you worked him through it, you made him do it.
Like I forced him to finish whatever the action was, so.
Right, because the longer he delays that,
The.
the longer it's gonna happen,
Uh-huh.
right? So if I say, if I have it on 24 and I say place and they tap him 10 times as he's panicking, had he just done it, it would have been 2
One,
times, or
uh-huh,
1
two,
time.
uh-huh.
Yeah, it would have been far less. So then now he got good contact that we dipped it down to 12, we went 50% down. 12 was too much, and then 10, and then now I think we're at 8, right?
Yeah, and I guess like, how did you realize 12 was too much? Like
He was
still.
too jumpy.
Okay.
Yeah, but when he would feel it, he was just like this
Okay.
kind of, you
Uh-huh.
know? Because now he's super sensitive because of 24.
Mhm.
So now he's really heightened. So think of it as like you go into a haunted, you ever been in a haunted house?
Mhm.
Like you know it's not real,
Right.
but you're already going in.
And that's true.
And
Like,
then they get you with like any little, you touch
Uh-huh.
something weird, somebody touches your shoulder, right? You're just
That's
on
true.
edge. Same thing here. He's on edge because of 24, so then they go 12 was too much, 10 was too much, 8. And then you started seeing when you would tap him, 1 to 2, boom,
yeah.
straight shot. You also started to see him be preemptive,
Yeah.
because
Uh-huh.
he's thinking, oh, this is gonna happen, right?
Mhm.
So we wouldn't allow him, we would restrict him like you did, wait a moment, so that he's learning, okay, I do this when I feel the tap, or I
For
feel
the
the place.
command. Uh-huh.
So place is meant for extended use. It's meant for stationary control. It's very simple. It's just go here, don't move. Okay, I don't care if you sit, stand, or lay down. Just don't get off of
Mhm.
place. Okay, so it's more of a perimeter base.
Mhm.
Anything like a dog bed, a blanket, a towel. People will put like a towel over the couch or something, like a section on the couch. An ottoman. I had someone use an area rug.
Mhm.
So it was like a really big area rug, and he was like, could this be it? I said, sure. I was like, but your dog can like literally walk around.
Around within. Uh-huh.
But it's fine because there's a perimeter. You can't like point to the corner and say place because it ends at the corner,
Uh-huh.
but there's no end on this section.
Okay. Okay.
So it's like, so he doesn't know what the perimeter is,
Yes.
okay? So it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It just has to be something that defines an outline for the dog. So, like one time I was parking and forgot to bring my dog bed,
Uh-huh.
and I just took off my jacket and I put it on the ground, and we taught place on my jacket.
And because he already has it, it was probably easier to just like kind of put it on the jacket. Oh, for someone else, not for your own dogs.
Oh.
Yeah, I was like, it was easier.
Yeah, no, it wasn't for my dog. It was for the lesson.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I forgot this.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, okay, and we were outside because it was dirt and grass and then
And then
jacket.
there was something.
So it's something that differentiates
Right.
the floor from the object. So it can be as big as you want, it can be as small as you want, but it has to definitely be enough space for Rolo to go and be able to be under comfortably. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So like if you give him like a little napkin,
Right.
like technically you could, but it's too small. He's gonna overlap it. So enough for him to be able to stretch out and stuff, but it doesn't have to be anything crazy big. You can also have more than one place. You could have one in the living room, you could have one in the kitchen or one in the bedroom, you know, so if you're in the bedroom and you say place, he'd go to the one in the bedroom.
Mhm.
If you have a different one in the living room and you say place, he'd go to the one in the living room, okay?
And I would do the same process, but with whatever that object is.
Correct.
At home.
So this is not gonna transfer, so if you go and you say Rolo place, as soon as you go home, he's not gonna assume it's my dog bed.
Right.
You'd have to do this first,
Mhm.
but it's gonna be much faster, because you already did the hard work.
Uh-huh.
You already taught him, now you're just transferring it to a
To a
new
new
object.
object.
Okay, so there's 2 points to practice here. We have the go there with the send, is what we call it, and then we have the stay there, the don't move. Okay, so right now when we're doing place, you know, break, place, break, is teaching Rolo to go there, so it becomes easier. Because in the beginning it took a lot of work.
Yes.
And as we repeated it, he started getting more fluent in it, and he started going and sending much more easily and reliably using less pressure. So that's what the intention of this exercise is for, okay? Is teaching Rolo to go there easily. The other part of it is the don't move, and that you would practice as you go about your life.
Right, like.
So if you're gonna watch TV for a bit, you know, you're gonna watch an hour and a half movie or something, take Rolo's dog bed, put it next to you, get him set up with the leash and everything, place, and then you can step on the leash and hold the leash.
Right.
And then like 45 minutes later, he gets bored, he wants to get up and walk away, you correct him, he goes back and go back to watching TV. So you're teaching the stationary control as you live your life. Excuse me. As you live your life, we're not, you know, telling him to place and staring at him for 5 minutes.
Right,
And then
right.
break, and the next day 10 minutes. Right after, like you can literally go home right now and do 2 hours. But I would expect Rolo to make mistakes.
Right.
But that's how we teach him not to get off, is by sending him and applying it, and at some point he goes, this is stupid. And he tries to get off, and I correct him, and he goes back and he's like, okay, well I guess I can't try to sneak off because this kicks in without warning. So, everybody's application is gonna be different. If you know, like, yeah, I wanna take Rolo to restaurants, and, or like, you know, I might have Rolo go to his bed when the guest comes over for like a few hours. Is you want to think, what's the maximum you would need Rolo to do? Okay, on average, it's usually about an hour and a half to 2 hours for most people. Okay, so if the answer is yeah, I would have him do 2 hours when the guest comes over, or we do 2 hours at the restaurant, you want to practice 2.5 to 3 hours. Okay?
Like more almost than what you need.
Correct, because you're trying to make it more difficult by making it longer. Because you're not going to have distractions and stimuli when you practice at home. So we make it more difficult by increasing the length of time. And it's not every day you're doing 3 hours, but at least, you know, 3 times a week or so, you're trying to practice up in that range so that it's applicable. So if you always do 30 minutes on place, he's gonna be great for 30 minutes. But then one day you're like, okay, well, don't go for 2 hours. That's too big of a gap. So you could go home right now and do 30 minutes, and then you're done for the day, and then tomorrow you could do 2 hours, and the next day 45 minutes, and the next day 3 hours. It's just, you know, on a somewhat regular basis, you want to practice in that range so that it becomes applicable even in a different kind of setting. Okay? Questions so far with this?
Like let's say it's a towel or something like that. Is the expectation that if I move the towel, he'll know that the place has moved?
Technically, yes.
Okay.
So dogs need to learn to recognize a specific object. So like let's say you use a towel and you move it around the house.
Right.
He will learn to recognize the towel. Okay? If you use a dog bed in each room, he will go to the one in the room.
Where he's at.
Yeah, so if you're in the living room, you said place, and there's one in the living room, he wouldn't go in the bedroom.
So how do you apply it to like restaurants and stuff? Do you bring the dog beds, like, or like a towel or something?
Or a towel. A lot of people do a towel. So then, like, let's say you have a dog bed at home that you use, and then you put a towel in your car to use for place. You want to make sure that you've taught Rolo how to go there.
Yeah.
So don't expect you to go to a restaurant, pop it down for place, he doesn't know, okay, you can hop there. You have to teach him first.
Right.
So you do that first outside of the setting, and then he becomes familiar with it. And he goes, okay, when I see this white towel or black towel or whatever, that's place now. Okay, so then when you put it down at the restaurant and you say place, he knows to go there. Okay, so it's kind of one, like a travel place.
Okay.
You can also have one place in the house that you don't move, and then you can send them from different rooms and stuff. But that's going to require more work.
Right.
So you would start, like right now, we started at a foot,
right,
then 2 feet, and then 3 feet, right? So if you try to teach Rolo to go to a specific place in the house, it's easiest if you keep it in the same spot. But then you got to work backwards with teaching them. So then you'd go, like, you'd send them from the kitchen, you would send them from the bedroom, you know, from the bathroom, whatever.
How do you, like, because right now I have the leash, right, and I'm close enough where I can kind of pull. Because I do have, like, one spot in mine in the living room. My apartment's not that big, so, like, I don't think him going from one room to the other would be, like, that much of a difference. But, like, right now I have the leash to pull him towards the object, because I'm also within like 3 feet of the object, but as I go further back, how do you, if he's not responding, how do you kind of get him to go in that right direction?
So it's all about conditioning.
Okay.
So if you're gonna use one spot, is you would start a foot away, and then once you see Rolo going there, no problem, 2 feet, 3 feet. And what's gonna happen is when you get to 8 feet, and maybe that's too far, and you give a little bit of a pull. So if I try to send Rolo from here, probably gonna be too far.
Yeah.
But then if I go like this and tap, it's the same pressure.
Oh, it's the same motion, like
as if you were here. So that's what helps the dog, right?
Right.
So then what I would do is I start pulling and tapping, and if he starts to go, let's say he gets stuck right there, I would just take a little step further to try to get him to go by himself.
Yeah.
Because if you walk with Rolo,
I think he's gonna think I'm gonna walk with him. Right?
exactly, you're gonna need to do it every single time. So right off the bat, I try to put on the dog to figure it out, because they pick it up faster.
Okay.
Okay. Other questions? So you can use this like when people come over. If you're gonna do that, you want to have Rolo here first. So people tend to wait for the dog to be out of control before they try to establish control.
Like before you open the door.
Exactly.
Yes,
so like if at 5:30 your friend is coming over, 5 o'clock Rolo's already in place. Okay, makes it easier. You definitely want to have the leash on. You know, your number might have to go higher because of the stimulation, right? Now, do keep in mind if your guest comes in, Rolo could be excited, he can jump, he can bark.
As long as he's
on here. Okay, now if you don't care about that, then I don't care about that.
I don't. So as long as I can have him in a spot. Like.
Yes. So then in the beginning, it might be easiest where, like they buzz and you buzz them in, and you leave the door unlocked or something, and you're close by Rolo with the leash, and with the anticipation of he's going to want to charge when he sees the person, okay, to say hi or whatever, so that you can restrain him and correct him to go back. It's going to be easier as opposed to trying to correct them all the way to the front door.
Correct, yes.
Okay. And then easiest for you if your guest ignores Rolo.
Yes.
But then if they run, you go, Rolo, and then you're talking to him, it's going to be crazy. Okay. Other questions?
Not right now.
So this exercise that we just did, the sending exercise, 3 to 5 minutes, 2 times a day. Real short. Because it's so repetitive, you saw him start to get stressed out and like wanting to run there. So we keep it shorter. Once Rolo gets it, and you go place, boom, place, boom, place, boom. He's just consistent. You don't have to practice anymore. You just apply it. Okay. Because this is meant to make this easier. So once that's easier, then I don't need to practice anymore. I just use it as I go about my day. And I encourage everybody to find places to apply it when they eat dinner, when they eat lunch, when they watch TV. Obviously, when guests come over. So in the beginning, you're like doing more with it, and then once you feel like he's mastered it, you still want to apply it like on at least once a day, because if you don't use it, you lose it. Kind of applies to dogs. It's not that they forget how to do it; it's that if he's not used to practicing it for a period of time, they just get sloppy. Okay, this is fine.
Right, because it's within.
Yeah, and he just now got comfortable. He just now relaxed, right? So when we work with dogs like this, that was because of the 24. He was still processing that stuff. Okay? But he can only be like that for so long before it becomes tiresome for the brain. And the brain goes, okay, I gotta let this go. So here, it's all part of the process. We had a dog here who for board and training, his name was Hager. I actually talked to the owner like the other day. He was here for 4 weeks. We did a board and train with him. And and he was at a year old, he didn't listen to no one, was untrained, would jump up and bark at the owner. This is a 150-pound dog. He was a black Russian Terrier. He's a huge dog. So he would bark at the owner to like tell her to do stuff, like take me for a walk or whatever. And when we did plays with him, for the first like week, he was standing. He wouldn't lay down or sit. He was standing on the bed the entire time.
Oh wow.
And then about a week in, he started to sit down, and he would be drooling like crazy.
Uh-huh.
And then about two weeks in, he started to finally lay down and go to sleep. Because he was so used to doing whatever he wanted,
yeah,
that being still was like very difficult.
Uh-huh.
And we used to do about 6 to 8 hours total for the day of training. And it took that much over the course of 2 weeks in order to finally get him to just be able to relax.
Oh wow.
So the more we tend to again avoid those things, but it's actually the more you expose him that helps him get over it. Okay. So if you practice this at home, and you leave him there, and you see him kind of just sitting there for like 20 minutes before he finally relaxes, as you keep doing that, it's gonna get easier and easier and easier.
Do you recommend, if I see that he's like really stressed, to try and see if I can get him, well, not see, but have him stay longer to the point where he might relax? Yeah. Okay.
So like, let's say, ideally, if you see him being stressed, I wouldn't release him until after he relaxes.
Okay.
Okay? But let's say it's been like 2 hours and he's not relaxed, and you're like, hey, I gotta go.
Right.
You can release him. But this way he thinks, because dogs go back to what they remember.
Yeah.
So if you send him and he thinks, well, the last time I was on there, I was relaxed, he's gonna be relaxed.
Right.
But if he's like, the last time I was there, I was anxious, he's gonna start off with anxiousness again. Okay. Other questions?
No.
Interesting, you're practicing. So what we're gonna do here is, let's check, is we're gonna add a little bit of distraction. So go ahead and pick up your leash. And go ahead and stand up. Good, so you didn't move, that's good, okay. Is you're gonna go ahead and release Rolo.
Go.
And you're gonna do the same process of sending Rolo into place. But now what we're gonna start doing is adding movement. You're gonna start walking around the dog. Okay.
One. Place.
Wait a second. Good. Now start to walk around. Now with this command, if you said place and Rolo runs there, you don't tap.
Okay.
Okay. Now here you had to because you said place, you didn't do anything. But if you say place and he runs there, you don't tap. Okay? Go ahead and come to a stop. Go ahead and come in and praise him.
You're doing so good.
Good. And then you're gonna stand up and walk around again. Good. So even though you pet him and stuff, he's still under the
That's
command.
actually pretty impressive because normally I'll sit there and he's like, oh, okay, I'm done that.
Yeah, come to a stop and release.
Go. Go.
Quick, pull, pull, pull.
Go.
There you go. Good.
Good job, buddy. What is it that you think the chair
He's still, because he's trying to get away from it. It's okay.
That's kind of cute. That did not be comfortable.
Go ahead and try place.
Place.
Right. Did you tap?
No.
Right. Good. Go ahead and walk around. So now Rolo's learning if he just goes, he can avoid the pressure entirely.
Right.
Good. Go ahead and come in and praise. And step away. Quick walk around. And stop. Right.
Go. Go. Go.
There we go. Three more.
Go. Place.
Good.
Whoa.
You see how he's starting to relax more?
Yeah.
He's not as shaky.
Go. Go.
That boy's good.
Good job, buddy. Place.
Right. Good.
keep doing it from over there, so I'm gonna try to do it from somewhere else. So,
There's the last one.
place.
There you go. Good.
Go.
So and then the last one. Yep, fine.
Go to place.
Yep, yep, yep. Keep going forward right there. Yep. Good, and then relax. I'm gonna pause right there. Good. So like if you see stuff like that happen, okay, let's say you're practicing in the home, and then maybe when you go by the bedroom, he tries to run in the bedroom. I would keep doing that. And then
So-
correct them to teach him like going in there is not the
Not gonna
answer.
help you.
This is over here, right? So he technically has to try it and be corrected to learn, okay, that is not an option. You're not being mean, you're just eliminating the choices for Rolo. So he just thinks, okay, just do what mom says, and we're good, okay? So this exercise of sending, 3 to 5 minutes. So when you go home, you give them a break, maybe later tonight, you pull out the dog bed, you're gonna do this exercise, 3 to 5 minutes, and you can end with leaving them there for 20 minutes or whatever you want.
Okay.
And then the durational aspect of it, you would practice whatever you want every day.
Okay.
Okay, so you can do 3 30-minute sessions, you can do one long 2-hour session,
Okay.
you know, you can do whenever you lunch and stuff like that. The more you apply it, the faster he's gonna learn that concept and get more comfortable with it. Again, you know how long you're gonna want him to hold it for, so just think to yourself, yeah, about an hour and a half, 2 hours, or whatever, 3 hours. I had a family that needed the dog to hold still for 4 to 6 hours, because they had a baby and it was growling at the baby.
Oh,
So we had to make absolutely sure that the dog did not.
get to the
Exactly,
Yeah.
so we would use the place. So, questions on any of this stuff? Good. So then feel free to use food,
Yeah.
you know?
That'll make him even more relaxed,
Yeah.
because he'll do anything for food.
Um,
He'll even jump into the tub himself.
Oh, yeah, you told me
He
about that.
showers,
Yeah.
So, like bath, he takes them and he'll like, boop.
but the more you expose him to this, the faster you'll get over it. Okay, good. Great.
Go. Good job.